Hey people, how's it going? Welcome to another video. So I've had an idea to do this style of video for a good while now, ever since Iron Maiden started their Future Past tour. But it coincided with a dramatic life change in my life, so it got put on hold. But now I've got 5 minutes to do it. So today, without further ado, we're just gonna get straight into it. Today, we're gonna discuss and talk about my ideal Iron Maiden setlist. I put up a video just after Maiden started their Future Past tour, giving my thoughts on the setlist. It did pretty well. Got a bit of roasting, but that's okay. It also got some praise. So today we're going to sit here and discuss my ideal perfect Maiden setlist. The only with no barriers. I haven't put it in from only up to this album. This tour isn't celebrating a certain album. There isn't anything about it. Do you know what I mean? The only one rule that I gave myself was I had to have the song Iron Maiden in it, because every gig has Iron Maiden in it. So yeah, I think it's 15 or 16 songs. There's 2 encores, which inspired me because that's what they're doing these days. So yeah, let me know down below if you can think about it straight away. I actually had to sit down and really, do some crossings out to get through this. But if you can, let me know down below what your ideal Maiden setlist is. Think of the opener, think of the encore, think of the epics. What would make the perfect Iron Maiden show for you? And then we can have banter backwards and forwards about why our lists counteract each other. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Sorry about that ironing board. It was bothering me, so I had to move it before I carried on. So, like I say, it's like 15 or 16 songs, so we're just going to get straight into it. My perfect Maiden opener, I won't lie, is going to be Where Eagles Dare. That goddamn, just imagine it. That drum intro. Dun, 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 dun. And then, I wanted to include something like The Ides of March, as like the perfect opener. But then I was like, nah, don't worry about any of that. As an actual song to watch the band perform, Where Eagles Dare is easily the greatest opener ever. It's the strong, in my opinion, it's the strongest point to the Peace of Mind album, Where Eagles Dare. It's a fantastic song. They play it live still today. Sometimes they open with it, sometimes they don't, but wherever it goes, it fits in the set list. And for me, it's just sitting perfectly at number 1. Just that drum intro, the riffs, the vocals, it's just insane. You would want a song like that to come on first, and it just really, you get hit in the face with this epic song, and it just has the way it ends, the way the song ends with the verse, and it slows down, dun dun dun, bow, everyone blows up, and it's just so good. And then before you've even had time to take in that 7 minutes of what just happened, I've then put on Wrathchild as song number 2, another song from way back at the start, because it's a fun 2-minute single song. Kind of give Bruce a bit of resting with his vocals. Obviously he won't rest, but Wrathchild has been in the 2nd spot before in gigs. I know he did it for Death on the Road. It's not on Rock in Rio, but still, it's a great little piece, and it's a great homage as well to early Iron Maiden. I think it's fantastic as well. So yeah, I think Wrathchild really fits in at number 2. And then number 3, I'm dragging this gig out, It's the one gig that is perfect for me, okay? And then I've gone for Prowler to come in next. Another homage to the first album. Prowler, pretty much like Wrathchild, is just this perfect little 3-minute simple song, which is just high energy and fast. I was listening to, is it Real Live Dead one, I think? And Prowler's on that, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And The Beast Over Hammersmith as well, Prowler's on there. I was like, this is great. I made a playlist of all these songs, and I was listening to it throughout the day just to see how they flowed together. I was like, this is awesome. So yeah, I've put Prowler in at number 3. I think it's a really great song. Number 4 is the last of the opening section of the show. Okay, I'm probably dragging it out too long, but that's all right. Number 4, I've put the title track for the 2nd album. I've put Killers, because it's the first song with a, a cleaner intro. Do you know what I mean? It just like kind of gives everyone a bit of a tiny bit of a rest, and then it punches you back up again. And it's just Killers is a fantastic song, and I've never seen it live. I've seen Maiden live twice, and I don't think I'll see Killers live, but that's okay. Killers live is a great song. It's on what's that one called? It's on Made in England. It's on the Live at the Rainbow. Is it on Beast Over Hammersmith? I'm pretty sure it is. So it still gets it's been played after the album came out. It's a great live song, and it's a great song, full stop. So I think that'd be really, really cool. And I know every song in this first chunk is from the early days, but to me, that's my Perfect Maiden, the early day stuff. So yeah, Killers at track 4. Now, track 5 is where things slow down and moody atmosphere changes. Okay, this is an album that this is a song that I wanted on the Future Past tour, but it wasn't on there. I've put the first, you could call this the epic Iron Maiden section. I've put in the Parchment from Senjutsu. I love the Parchment. On the Future Past tour, we have Hell on Earth and we have Death of the Celts is on there, and I think that's great. But I do really think the audience would benefit from the Parchment. Yeah, it's a 12-minute song and it does go on for a bit, but when I heard that song over and over again, it kind of reminded me of the red and the black from Book of Souls. Not so much the ancient mariner aspect in terms of gallops and whatnot, but you know how the red and black riff-wise, lick-wise goes on. There's harmony after harmony after harmony after harmony. I got a vibe from the Parchment. There's that end section, well, the second half section when that little figure comes in and then Bruce sings over it, and then there's a solo and then there's an end. So it does serve its purpose to be 12 minutes. And I think by the end of that song, everyone would be like, holy God, what just happened? So you get 4 songs of epic blasting in the face, and then you get hit with this real emotional Parchment song, and I just really think that would be awesome to have right there. So yeah, bit gutted it's not on the Future Past tour, but that's okay, I didn't write the set list. Next up is another epic from the 21st century, and it's Dance of Death. Again, this was on Death on the Road. This song was also on En Vivo, which is a fantastic performance, and it goes down really well. The Irish little figure gets the audience clapping and jumping, despite what speed they play it at. They do play it at a bit slower these days, but that's all right, they're old men. Dance of Death has a sweet spot for me because it's like the first 21st century Maiden song I heard from Death on the Road. I hadn't even heard the studio album at that point, and I just loved it. I always wanted to see that song live. Unfortunately, I haven't, but still, it's a great song. It has so much atmosphere with the acoustic intro, and the storytelling style of all the vocals and the lyrics are just beautiful. Like I say, the Irish iconic Maiden figure. The solos are insane. The harmony is beautiful, and it ends with the acoustic thing as well. So it's just another 10-minute of just nice, again, slows the mood down with the iconic intro. And outro, just kind of keeps everyone at pace, just has a rest. Yeah, so really, really cool stuff. And then after that, I've put in one more Iron Maiden epic, and that is from the Final Frontier, When the Wild Wind Blows. I first heard this song and I fell in love with it straight away. I just thought it's amazing that Maiden came up with a harmony. The harmony that the melody, that's the word, the melody that's in that song, they came up with that, and it's honestly the simplest thing ever, and it took them 40 years to come up with it. It's amazing that they haven't done it yet. Dun 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 dun. It's just sang over it is beautiful. The solos in it are amazing. The harmony, the actual harmony, is just glorious. The subject matter as well, the end of the world, I think it's amazing. That song is so moving, and in the right atmosphere, that song, you'd probably cry in it. It's a bit like Blood Brothers. That song, Wild Winds on En Vivo as well, and it's just a really emotional Maiden epic. So by the end of it, you are feeling like, Return of the King is just finished. You know what I mean? You really hone it in and just be like, wow, oh, good job, team. Do you know what I mean? And then, as they do with most of their epic sections of their gigs, they immediately come out of them with high energy stuff. So after When the Wild Wind Blows, I've gone back to the first album again, and I've put in Phantom of the Opera. Obviously, if you know anything about me, you know that I reign Phantom of the Opera as Iron Maiden's best song. Nothing has ever topped it, in my opinion. It's the song that made me look at Maiden, made the song that made me realize who they are and what they're about. It's a fantastic song. Still today, I love it. So I had to include it in the gig, obviously. I've seen Phantom of the Opera live. They did it on the Somewhere Back in Time tour, and I died. It was amazing. So obviously I had to put this in the set list, you know. It fits anywhere. I'm always loving this song. The intro, and then the build up that comes after that, and then the riff, the verse riff, so good. The breakdown section in the middle, the bass solo part, the harmonized triplet thing that they've got, the solos, and then back to the riffs again. Just wow. Honestly, man, just wow. A fantastic song. And then and then it starts getting into like the second half of the gig where like you can feel the end is sort of coming, but we're not quite there yet. We still haven't heard some classics. So coming up next, I've put The Number of the Beast. I love Number of the Beast, of course. It's a fantastic song. It's a fantastic album. It had to be included in this gig. People will go nuts when Number of the Beast comes on. You know, you could open with it. You could put it at the end. It goes in anywhere. But yeah, I've chucked it in the middle just as a standard, Iron Maiden gig staple. I don't need to say much more about it. It's great. It gets everyone hyped up. It's another 4 or 5 minute fast-paced song. It's just brilliant. So yeah, obviously we had to put that one in there. And then the next one I've thrown in is a bit of a wild card because it's just another one of those random songs that I really, really love. I've chucked in Out of the Silent Planet from Brave New World. This song is just fun. It's just never mentioned anywhere. It's great, and I think it would go down well if they randomly busted that intro out. It's a fun, simple song. It's great to sing. It's nothing special, I won't lie to you, but it is a top tier song. It's one of my standouts from the Brave New World album. I think it would be awesome. So yeah, I know that is a bit weird, but I would love it if that came on live at one of my shows. I think it would be awesome. So yeah, and then after that song is where I've put Iron Maiden. So that would signify the end of the show. Obviously, the iconic song, the Eddie would come out. I don't know what the Eddie would be. Like I say, this is just an all-out tour of everything. But if it was my tour, obviously I'd probably have Eddie come out just looking like he does off the first album, because to me, first album is god tier. It's better than anything. So yeah, that's Iron Maiden. And then they go away, all is good. And then the encore, that's the word. So my first encore song is a song from A Matter of Life and Death. It's an epic. It is for the greater good of God. It's a beautiful song. They've done it live. It's on Legacy of the Beast. No, it's not. Oh, well, it's the Legacy. Is it the Legacy tour? That one, the night out in Mexico, or whatever it's called. Fantastic song. Good God. Such a good song. Easily the best song off A Matter of Life and Death. And if I saw that live, a bit like Wild Wind, I'd probably cry. Just beautiful. 9 minutes, 24 seconds or something like that of just epicness. Just the melody in that. Again, the subject matter, the religion battling kind of argument. It's just beautiful. Honestly, it's so good. And then after that, I'll put on a song that is on the Future Past tour. I've gone back to Senjutsu and I've put Hell on Earth back on. The staple, I think, for the Senjutsu album is the closer of Hell on Earth, sorry. Obviously, I've talked about the Parchment. The Parchment is amazing, but Hell on Earth really, really pulls at the heartstrings and is such a beautiful song, and I'm so glad that it's being played live. I think I've got it in the same spot. I think Hell on Earth is the encore song before before their next song. But yeah, Hell on Earth is just this fantastic closer. It's showing Maiden at its best, even though they're nearly 70 now. Well, Nico is 70, I think 73 now. But yeah, it's just Maiden really, it's just really so good. It's honestly such an emotional song. A bit like Wild Wind, the simple melody just really tugs at you. It's just so beautiful. I love it more than anything. And then after that, we got two more songs. So in the same encore, I've then decided to put in, obviously I've been inspired from the Future Past tour. I've also put in Alexander the Great. It's a fantastic song. I've loved that song since I first bought the Somewhere in Time album way back. I bought that in 2009, I think. It was just, it's the most epic song off Somewhere in Time, obviously, but it definitely got overshadowed by Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I know they obviously did the Power Slave tour and thrashed all the Power Slave songs. Then they also did a Somewhere in Time tour, but obviously Alexander wasn't on that tour because they played Ancient Mariner instead, which still probably went down well, but God, Alexander, I'm so glad it's finally getting some love, eh? It's the best song in the world. Content, it's history, so it's absolutely fantastic. Musicianship on that song is glorious. The solos on it are amazing. That little middle section, dun, 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 it's in a weird time signature. Is it in 7/8? I think, I don't know, but it's so cool, and the harmonies in it are awesome. Bruce's vocals are just great, and then that's, yeah. It starts, and it doesn't start and end the same, but it starts as any Maiden epic would. It starts clean and then builds up and gets heavy, and then it ends with the same figure we heard at the start, but still bouncing. It's just so goddamn good. And then that's the end of the first encore, and then the second encore, they would come back for one more song. And of course, I've decided to close my ideal Maiden show with Hallowed Be Thy Name. No lawsuits in this fantasy. Hallowed Be Thy Name is top 3 Iron Maiden songs. It's their first real epic song that they ever wrote off the Number of the Beast album. It closes that album amazingly, and it closes gigs amazingly too. Watching it on Live After Death is impressive. They play that song so fast, it's insane. But what really hit me when I first saw it on the Flight 666 DVD, the Somewhere Back in Time world tour, the same world tour that I saw them on, when they hit that final chord, well, it's not even the final chord, but when they hit the first chord, when Bruce sings "Hallowed Be Thy Name," and it shows Steve's face, and he's got that smile. He's got this face of, we did it. Like, that's the end of the tour as well. It's just like, oh, it's so good. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel when the song ends. It's a beautiful song. I never get tired of hearing it. The harmony in that, the solo in that. I think it's one of few songs that sound better in the studio live. Like, there's just something about the magic of that song. It's so live already, and it's so real. But yeah, I love it. I think it's great. So there we go, team. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I sit here and take you through my ideal Iron Maiden set list. Like I said at the start, let me know down below what your favourite Iron Maiden set list is. Would you open with Where Eagles Dare? Would you have as much stuff from the first half of their catalogue as I did? Obviously, there's nothing from Seventh Son. There's no Trooper. There's no Trooper. I'm sorry, it's overplayed. There's no Evil That Men Do. There's no Wicker Man. You know, this is my ideal set list. Let me know down below what would be on yours. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me, team, while we sit here and talk about Maiden. Who doesn't love a bit of Maiden? Keep an eye out for the next video. Christ knows what that'll be. But until that happens, everybody, stay inside, stay safe, listen to Maiden, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.